Sup guys, Heeking here, bringing you another Resident Evil 9 discussion video. So yeah, this video is going to be about discussing the potential villains. I already kind of discussed that, what the villains might be, but I kind of wanted to go into a bit more detail. This does feel a bit repetitive because you've got a lot of people who talked about who the villains in this game were going to be. But I thought I'd just give my 2 cents on this and just go for it. So yeah, starting off first, and before I begin with, to like and subscribe. But yeah, starting off first, we got this giant creature. In a previous video, I did make the theory that this was potentially either a mutated Elisa or a mutated Lisa Trevor. Now, Elisa for me would have made sense because at the time I thought that the location we were in took place in the Redwood Hotel. But now we know it takes place in the Rhodes Civic Hotel, and this is a location that's located basically between Raccoon or Arklay, or in Arklay. So, you know, there's every chance that this could be a mutated Lisa Trevor. And plus, from the previews that people played, Grace doesn't seem to react to this creature in a recognizable way. So this is something new. But yeah, is this Lisa Trevor? Like I said, the location we know we are in now, thanks to a news on Twitter by is it what was his name? So yeah, Resident BioEvil was the one who posted about the Rhodes thing. Okay, you know, he used his analyzing skills to figure that out. So at this point, it's pretty obvious that this whole area is located near the Arklay Mountains and near Raccoon City, or it is probably going to be in Raccoon City. I'm going to say it's going to be in Raccoon City, but this creature could easily be Lisa Trevor, mutated, enlarged over the years, because this was a creature that was essentially immortal. You couldn't kill this creature, and in the end, Lisa fell into like this big abyss in the crypts below the Spencer mansion. But then she came back in Umbrella Chronicles and fought Wesker, which was a bit it was a bit weird how they did that. I feel like a lot of stuff in Umbrella Chronicles and Dark Side Chronicles isn't really that canon. You know what I mean? Like, it's like semi-canon. I imagine they would retcon a lot of things when it comes to those games, which they already did with RE4 Remake. With RE4, they did retcon a lot of Operation Javier, so they could do the same thing with Umbrella Chronicles when it comes to like those specific Wesker moments, or you know, the end of Umbrella or Dark Legacy, and that they could retcon a lot of that. But I do think that there's a hard case to be made that this is Lisa Trevor. And plus, you have a known RE content creator by the name of Susie Hunter, or is it Spear Hunter, who did, I believe, play the demo at Summer Game Fest, and they made a video explaining how this creature's grunts, its noises, are pretty much 100% similar to the noises and grunts that Lisa Trevor makes in the original RE1 remake. So either Capcom is reusing assets, which they're known for doing, or they really want you as a long-time hardcore fan, if you are a hardcore long-time fan, to realize that, hey, this is who you think it might be because of those noises. Maybe, I don't know, but like Susie made a very valid case for that, and I kind of believe it. Like, if that is the case, there has to be a reason for that. Like, it can't just be asset reuse, otherwise what's the point? And plus, it ties into the whole concept of like this game going back to the beginning. We're going back to the beginning, so it kind of makes sense to bring something from the beginning back as well. And Lisa would kind of make sense, especially if it ties into who the main villain of this game will be, and it would tie into the themes of this game as well as the themes of RE7 and RE8. But of course, I'm going to go into that toward the end of the video, because I'm going to discuss who the other potential villains will be first before I come to who it might really be. But yeah, okay. So yeah, we got this mysterious character. I already discussed this in the breakdown, but we got this mysterious character who's wearing leather, who from the back looks like he could be Spencer, maybe. I don't know, but there's a lot of potentials for who this character could be. So I'm gonna break it down and go for it one by one. So yeah, number one, this could be a resurrected Spencer. Again, this game is going back to the beginning. We know the Civic Hotel takes place, like I said already, multiple times. It's taking place in or near Raccoon City. So there's obviously a big connection there. And this guy wearing leather, it feels like maybe a homage to Albert Wesker, perhaps, maybe, I don't know. But bringing Spencer back would not be the worst thing in the world. Do you know what I mean? Like, this was a character that we never really got to interact with, that we never really got to explore. We only ever explored this character in files. We never really got to fight him or interact with him. It's like, you know, we got that one cutscene of him, the first time he appears, and then Wesker kills him straight up, and it's like, is that it? Like, this was the founder of Umbrella. He was the big mastermind. He was essentially the Emperor Palpatine of the series, and then he gets taken out like after like 3 minutes of screen time. It was annoying. It was annoying because I really wanted more from Spencer, and it was just kind of sad we didn't get that. One of my things with RE5 remake, hopefully, is that if they ever do get around to remaking it and they do Lost in Nightmares, they do a big expansion of Lost in Nightmares where Spencer is the one just like screwing with Chris and Jill throughout the campaign for that promotion, maybe, perhaps. But yeah, if this is Spencer coming back, you kind of have to wonder, how did he come back, right? Did he take the serum that Wesker took? Like, did he take the serum and was like, let me get killed and maybe, just maybe, I'll be resurrected? And it did happen. It did work. Or maybe the Spencer that died in RE5 was never Spencer. Maybe that was a body double, perhaps. Maybe, I don't know. Like this is Spencer we're talking about. He had things planned out to the T, and then at the end he screws up with Alex. Alex screws him over, and then he gets taken out by Wesker at the by Albert at the end. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. It was just always weird to me. But yeah, it's a thing to consider, maybe this is Spencer. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we get RE5 remake and a retcon Spencer's death. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, things to consider. Number 2, this is potentially a new character. Okay, and he's maybe a Spencer or Wesker fanatic. Maybe. I don't know. We've never really had a character that was in love or obsessed with Wesker's ideologies. Do you know what I mean? Like, it would be interesting maybe we get a character like that was obsessed with those ideologies of Albert or even Spencer, and they're continuing the work of those characters, perhaps. So that's a thing to consider. Number 3, I've already said this in the breakdown. This could be a descendant of Spencer. Like, one of the original ideas for Resident Evil, I think, was it 3.5 or Resident Evil 4 before it got turned into Devil May Cry. I'm not too sure on this, but I think one of the original ideas was to have you play as like Spencer's son, because that would explain why he's got superpowers and stuff. Or maybe it was meant to be Wesker. I don't know, but it's a rumor. It's not confirmed, by the way. But maybe this is it. Maybe this is a descendant of Spencer. Maybe this is his son. Maybe this is someone related to him, because you're telling me this dude was like that many years old and he didn't have family? Like, come on. And number 4, this is the original Wesker. Like, and when I mean the original, I mean the original OG Dr. Wesker, the one that the Wesker Children's Project was named after. If you guys remember in RE5, we pretty much just learned that the Wesker Children Project is named after its lead researcher. But we never learn anything about that lead researcher. What happened to them? Did they die? Did they not? If they didn't die, is this him? Is this the OG Dr. Wesker? Is this the one who started the Wesker Children Project? Is this him, perhaps? I don't know. It's things to consider, you know? It's food for thought. Number 5, one of the ones that everyone's like pretty much been saying potentially that it could be. It's Dr. Brandon Bailey, the prodigy of Dr. Marcus, one of the heads, or was he the key head of the African branch of Umbrella, and basically the creator and potentially living survivor and leader of the Connections. Like, we got the RE7 director coming back for this, and he was the one who introduced the Connections into the story, so it would kind of make sense for RE9 to sort of conclude that, perhaps. So maybe this is it. Maybe this is Brandon Bailey, perhaps. Maybe. Things to consider. And then, of course, we go to number 6. And this is the one that made me... And this is from a video I saw from, I believe, Nerd Space Games? Nerd Space Games? Give me a sec. Yeah, Nerd Space Games. He made a recent video discussing who the potential villain could be. And it's crazy that I didn't even think about this, because when I did see the giant creature, I did assume it was Lisa Trevor. But I also sort of wondered, what would be the point of bringing that character back when there's no other characters with a connection to her? You know, the only characters that are connected to Lisa are potentially Jill, Chris, and Barry, because they fought her in the remake, and Wesker, because, you know, not only did he fight her, but he also like was he was there when he was like conducting experiments on her. So you have those characters potentially with a connection to her. But then there's another character that has a connection to Lisa, and that's her family. That's her dad, you know, George Trevor. And we never really learned what happened to George Trevor. We know what happened to her mom, apparently. You know, she they infected her, and she didn't really adapt. And I think Lisa ended up ripping her face off because she wasn't really behaving like her mother, perhaps. I don't know. But with George Trevor, we never really found out whether he died or not. We read his notes in Remake. We know he's trapped in the mansion and he's exploring it and that. But we never really find his corpse. Now, obviously, I think a lot of us, at least me, I was always under the assumption that the Crimson Head that's in the crypt that you encounter was George Trevor mutated. But it was never confirmed that was George Trevor. And we're talking about the guy who developed the Spencer Mansion, for Christ's sake. Like, he created that mansion. He was the one who did all those traps and puzzles and that. And you're telling me he couldn't figure it out and escape? He wouldn't have developed an escape route? Like, it's a bit weird, isn't it? It's a bit strange, isn't it? But we never really discover his body, and then you know, his story always did feel like open-ended. And Nerd Space Games pretty much made the theory that this could be George Trevor. And when I think about it, maybe, because it would tie in with the theme of family. Like I said, guys, RE7 and RE8 had a very specific theme to do with family, and it seems like RE9 is continuing that with the Elisa and Grace connection. But then most of the family elements were to do with the villains, the Bakers, and of course Mother Miranda and the Lords. So you kind of have to assume that that theme's going to continue with the villains, right? And would it be so weird for George Trevor to be the big bad of this, perhaps, maybe? Maybe he survived and now he's trying to get revenge in his own way, like... And maybe that's why he's targeting all the government officials and that, perhaps. Like, you know, the hooded guy could be his henchman, and he's working with this guy and maybe others, and they're trying to expose the real truth of what happened, because they realize, oh, these guys helped Umbrella, so let's get revenge. And at the same time, he's trying to maybe cure his daughter, perhaps, and that would fit in with the theme of family, perhaps. You know, you got a father trying to save his daughter, you got a daughter trying to find out the truth about the mother, and maybe in the end we find out Lisa's alive and we save her, perhaps. I don't know. It's things to consider. It's very big things to consider regarding this, but yeah. But then you also have to keep in mind what the plot synopsis of this game is, and it doesn't feel like it would be related to George or Trevor, perhaps, but it is a good theory nonetheless. So I do like that. I do like this community, and I do like all of these content creators coming up with these weird ass theories that when you sort of think about it, it's like it could be possible. And plus it would be a cool tie-in to RE7 as well, because for RE7 we had that Elisa tie-in, and then we also had that one file mentioned George Trevor and how he built the Baker residence. So it's like it would be kind of funny to go into RE9 and then you have these characters come back that were mentioned in those files specifically in RE7. So like, I mean, it's already happening with Elisa. So you already have that connection there. So it would be out of the realm of impossibility, do you know what I mean? It's like I said, it's a thing to consider. But yeah, I'm very curious who this villain's going to be. I really do hope it is someone we do know. I hope it is one of those that I do hope it's not a new character. I do hope it's either Brandon Bailey or Spencer, perhaps. But I just don't want it to be a new character. Like, I do want it to be someone we know and we get some sort of resolution. But... yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say regarding that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. As always, guys, I hope you like this video. Remember to like and subscribe, and do check out those other channels, of course. Check out Susie Hunter, check out Nerd Space Games, check out all of them, man. Like all of these content creators, man. Honestly, I love this community. I love just checking out all these videos from all these people, like Center for Evil, Project Wesker, Residence of Evil. Like, I love all these guys. Like, I love it. Like, it's just great. It's just a good fun time to sit down and just go for everyone's theories and get your own views and speculations on this stuff. Like, it's great. It's a great time to be an RE fan. Do you know what I mean? So I love it. But yeah, guys, like I said, like and subscribe, and as always, I shall see you when I shall see you. Take care and